What the heck? This is a deck? How is this not long forgotten after its 1 month of its release? Well, let's find out what's going on here. Begin.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
We have Diviner, send from the deck or extra deck. We have Herald of Arclight, activate to search for the Ben 10. Ben 10 used to be limited to 1. That's how good it was. We're going to reveal a Ritual Monster to summon our Libromancer Fire to then search for a Libromancer Geek Boy. Nice. Libromancer's looking really good, actually. Incredible. We have the Lacrima Crimson Tier, which could set up the Fiendsmith in Paradise here if we're playing that. We have double special summon negate, and if you don't understand that we have a really good engine that you can add into any deck pretty much that stops Caesar completely, and that's the Millennium cards. Every Millennium summon cannot be negated by Caesar. You summon the Doom Dragon, you push it into the back row, and it does absolutely nothing in response to Millennium. I think the Millennium cards are going to get hit by the ban list, and by hit by the ban list, they're probably going to just hit Zombie Vampire to dissuade people from putting it in almost every deck. And then we also have Baron de Flor, Finger, and Impermanence. We have Neo, Kaiser, Seahorse, which will be triggering the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Search our deck for the Mausoleum here. Imperm, Negate. Now, you can't... Oh, we got Cross-Out Designate. Negate. The Negate. Baron de Flor, negate. The negate negating the negate. Negate. Now, you cannot bridge your way into a barrel from the hand. You have to normal summon the barrel, then go into a Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Then you can additionally summon something like a Sage. So the barrel's just going to be dead. But we're already in a pretty bad spot here. Now, Druid Swarm would have been amazing if it could trigger from the hand being sent to the grave, but unfortunately, it's only from the field to the grave. It would then activate to send a monster on the field to the grave, as we now make a Typhon. Typhon is going to spin back that Baron de Flor, and big enough to take out the Wave King Caesar. Now, in addition to that, we have Zero Disruption. The Majesty is not going to be popping anything. The True Light is not going to be giving us disruption. We are summoning the Requiem within the end phase. Now, you do have to, in some circumstances, it is better to ensure that you summon this at the end of the opponent's main phase too. What I would tell you to not do is summon this at the end of main phase 1, because you're giving them the ability to still have their battle phase. They could triple tactics talent you possibly, but much more safely, especially after a Typhon, you know that they're not going to make any additional plays, so that you can at least activate the effect still during the opponent's turn, because it is only during the main phase where you can activate this effect. Let's tribute off, summon our Lacrima Crimson. Crimson sent from the deck our Engraver. Libromancer Fire, reveal the Ben 10. Summon, search our deck here for the Doom Broker. Please summon this. As we now Fiendsmith, sequence it up. The Fiendsmith cards are simply to just protect our Libromancer plays. It's not a core part of the deck, not needed, surely. As we now make an Ignumde. Desiree, when sent to the grave, triggering to send a card in the field to the graveyard, get rid of the Dead Majesty. As we now teleport from the deck a Geek Boy, which will search for a Libromancer spell. We got the Libromancer Realize. We now have the field spell performing a Ritual Summon into the Doom Broker. We're going to be searching our deck. Origin Story is also triggering to target a back row card and destroy it on Ritual Summon. Goodbye to both back row cards here. At 3100 attack, we cannot activate our effect due to the Typhon blocking our ability. We're now going to be triggering the Entis through the Diviner. Say goodbye to the Typhon, and just like that, 5400 on the damage on the field, but more with the Ignumde. Then the battle phase, Reborn for 4600 attack, lethal damage. There is definitely a benefit here to you not requiring your extra deck as much as other decks, so that when you are playing Fiendsmith, you have room for cards like Abnungde, you have room for Necrocrypt Princess. A deck like Snake Eye Fiendsmith, while Fiendsmith is still the best way to play Snake Eye, they don't have room for those extra techs that pretty much off of a Moon of the Closed Heaven can now inflict lethal damage on against anything. Barrel is going to be setting from the deck our Lordy Load, as we are going to load up our hand with our Drill Beam to then get hit by the Drone Lockbird, turning off the Wishes for Eyes of Blue. Unfortunately, can't Drill Beam the Droll because it's not actually on the field here. As we have Lordy Load summoning from the deck a Blue-Eyes White Dragon, as again, the Spirit with Eyes of Blue cannot search our deck. We have Heretic Seal. So even after getting drolled, we have a decent amount of disruption here through the Imper Monster Negate, Drill Beam, negate and banish anything. We have Heretic Seal, return a face-up card back to the hand, non-targeting. We also have Druiswarm, which could banish a card from the graveyard against Fiendsmith. That is definitely going to be a form of disruption. Quadra Disrupt under the Droll. Let's go. Teleport from the deck. We got Geek Boy searching our deck for our Libromancer Origin Story, which will be able to pop back our cards. As Diviner on someone's going to send from the deck, or actually, this could pop a card in the field or search the deck. So if we just stop the effect straight up, we're one and done. And now we have to fear whenever there's two bodies here, they can make a Moon in the Closed Heaven, but the Heretic Seal could just bounce it back. Now, Heretic Seal only being 0 attack, you can at least force its activation before committing to the Fiendsmith plays. We're not done in main phase 1. We have Origin Story on activation. We'll set a Libromancer card from the deck. As we call by the Grave Finger, the Heretic Seal, attempting to stop the Libromancer Origin Story. As we now Drill Beam, negate and banish the Call by the Grave Finger. Not today. Negate. As we fingered nothing and we stop the Origin Story. Now, we want to read an effect similar to each effect can only be used once per turn, and also it can only be activated once per turn, because if they could just replay this and redo that, that's not going to be good. You can only use this effect when this card's activated set. If okay, how about like what? We could just activate again. You can only activate one Libromancer Origin Story per turn. So that was very important to read that part before returning it back to the hand. Heretic Seal, summoned from the deck here, Magnum Hut. For a second, I thought Libromancer was going to be really good. As we now have the Moon of the Closed Heaven, and we have Druiswarm to try to banish an Engraver. Come forth and summon Lacrima from the hand, unfortunately. As we now Engraver Reborn, Druiswarm, Manish. Now, what do? We can't normal summon Diviner. The Origin Story cannot be activated. We can't get a second body in the field to make a sequence with. Druiswarm, very good. Bestial stocks are up. What the heck? You're a Fiendsmith Libromancer deck, ain't no way. Well, this only triggers on special summon, unfortunately, and we have to reveal a Ritual Monster to even special summon it. And then this only also reveals a Ritual Monster to trigger on special summon. So if we have no way to special summon, and then is this dead? What the heck is this? Reveal a Ritual Monster to perform a play. So without a Ritual Monster, we are completely dead. Is this a form of disruption, though? The opponent activates card effect, target a Libromancer ritual you control. Damn. Dead. We just have Ash. Okay, the Libromancer dream is dead. Oh boy. Surely Blue-Eyes is not going to one-turn kill, though. And we do have a great Ash. Negate the Wish's Mate. Nicely done. Now, let's see what we have from here. As we can Maiden set up the True Light. No way to stop the True Light. They have 0 disruption. Set the Roar, summon our Blue-Eyes, trigger the Maiden. As we now link this off into Spirit with Eyes of Blue. With the blue, grab the Mausoleum. Mausoleum's going to boost up the Spirit, send a Blue-Eyes White Dragon from the deck to the grave, reborn it onto the field here. As we now Wishes equip onto the Blue-Eyes a Neo Ultimate, send it to the grave for our Tyrant Dragon. We have no trap in grave to set onto the field. We cannot attack directly, but we could attack into every single body. 3k to the face, as we have Majesty plus Heretic Seal. How many forms of disruption do they now have to deal with, where they had no play, and now when they finally have a play, they have to deal with an Ash, an Ogre, a Heretic Seal, a Majesty, non-target pop up to 2 cards on the field, Quadra Disrupt through a single Fiendsmith Tract. I would just Ash that. I mean, we know they had no play last turn, right? So if they now activate this out of nowhere, something you know they would have activated on the previous turn, it reeks of desperation. Easy negate. Gotcha, mate. Turn it off. No. And there you go. That's the scoop. All we needed was Ash. Morisaki, thank you for whipping out the Libromancer. I appreciate it greatly. Very happy to see that. And I do want to see more. Let's keep on going. We got Ash. You could Ash the Senjin. You could Ogre the Senjin. You cannot Wave King Caesar the Senjin. We're going to Ash negate. Okay, we have Promethean Princess pop on special summon, and that's it. Okay. If we can get a fusion out, the Mercurial is just going to negate the Promethean. As we banish Mercurial to search our deck for our Albion Shrouded, which could draw a card. We're going to send from the deck in Albaz, randomly draw into the Cartesia. Special, well, we had another one. This was the Alt Art, though, the better version of Cartesia. Is now follow up a Branded Opening. Now, by activating Branded Opening, you now turn off your ability to go into an Anaconda. Do we even play Anaconda? We do not, so it's not even a thought. And by looking at this extra deck, what the heck? I think this is just for Super Poly. A Fiendsmith Fusion plus a Fusion or Link monster to make a Rextremde. Just Super Poly. Now, with our Aluber here, search our deck for the Branded Fusion. We know that there's no Ash in hand. There's nothing in their hand. They don't have an Impulse in the back row, which would be another way to stop the Branded Fusion. And just like that, the Promethean Princess cannot really do anything. Mercurial is simply going to negate. For sure, we're not discarding the Mercurial. Keep it in hand. Activate Promethean. Do we even care about negating it? This doesn't even really do anything. We could just even banish the Promethean Princess. Negate. Instead, we'll just non-target monster banish the Raging Phoenix. With how much damage do we have on field? 7,000 damage. Not enough for game. Let's non-target monster banish away. And wait, 2k life. Why is your life so low? You did 3 millenniums. Not 2, 3. Oh my Jesus. Golem into the back row. All we have is a Serenir to oppose us here. Is that enough? Probably not. Saryuja will draw 4. Or did we not have enough for the draw 4? I guess we're just special summoning from our hand instead, since we didn't have enough for the draw 4 play. And let's talk about how this will be disrupting the opponent. This will remove 2 Kaiju counters to negate the activation and banish a card. Being able to banish that is insane. Card or effect, so the effect of a spell or trap will also be negatable. So what we have here is 5 counters giving us 2 negates, but then we're very likely going to have a way, let's say Forbidden Droplet, get Saryuja in Graveyard, to trigger the Waterfront to gain another counter to give us at least 3 negates with the Game Seal, 2 monster negates with the Apollo, Droplet negate a monster on the field or multiple. We have about 6 forms of disruption. This only works from the field to the grave, not from the hand. Each time a card is sent from the field to the grave, so even the Droplet itself being sent to the graveyard, that would work. Super Poly. How do we Super Poly with a water, a wind, and an earth? We're going to be banishing the Carbuncle away, battle phase, as we now Droplet. You see how we don't see the sub-steps? You want to damage step the Droplet so that they can't chain a card like Super Poly. Now they could chain Super Poly if they want to. Reduce, and we don't even have to chain him. We can just wait on the resolution. Oh, geez, we could not chain Super Poly because he sent a spell, but not in the damage step, so we had to wait till the resolution to even use the Super Poly. What I'll recommend with Droplet is you don't even need to toggle on. Konami has properly programmed it in-game with auto. Just auto, it will tell you before damage calculation, would you like to Droplet? Yes, I would like to do so, mate. And now they Super Poly away into a Mirror Jade. But we still have the Super Negator. Negate and banish. Nothing to negate and banish. Sure, back to us. As we Waterfront searching for another turtle. Mirror Jade is going to get negated and banished. We're going to have to negate the Mirror Jade twice. As it's first activating to banish, it will then activate again to destroy the entire field during the end phase. Gotta negate that, right? Yeah, like, come on. But now we're in a window where we can't negate anything. But Pesh doesn't have anything worthy of even negating. So what is the play? Is this it for Pesh? As we're summoning another Doom Dragon, we don't have enough life points to activate the Millennium in the back row. Doom Dragon is gonna attempt to push the Serenir into the back row here. And again, we now have the Gam Seal activatable. But there's a big problem here. I see this and I think we're gonna get Chain Link blocking, mate. Serenir on the higher chain link here, with a more important effect on the lower chain link to deal with the game seal or the field spell. Yep, Star Source will get blocking. It's going to pop 1 and cannot be negated. Let's resolve that. Activate 1, activate 2, can't negate you. Gotcha, mate. The unstoppable Gam Seal Turtle is now going to be destroyed as we negate the Serenir. Not today. Banish, the Serenir, also is getting rid of this turtle enough. How do we get our other turtle out? Do we solely depend on being able to Saryuja it onto the field? We could normal summon it, possibly. Oh my Jesus, what is going on? We have a Sapphire Pegasus plus no other form of disruption. That is wild. We're in big trouble. Yeah, that is unfortunate. But do note just, I'm trying to think, is there ever, because usually when you make a rule, there's always an exception, but is there ever an exception to not using Droplet in the damage step when that's the initiating card, essentially, when battling? They're swinging into you. Why should we ever not damage step? Because I'm just thinking of just saying always, no matter what, if it's a battle, damage step it.